Live. And it looks like we are live. Welcome to another episode of Movie Discussions. I am your host, Chris. Once again, I am back with my brother in Tism Kaysen.
Yeah.
I apologize for this being a week late. We were supposed to do this discussion last week, but then I got the flu, so we had to postpone. But we're back on our regularly scheduled TISM.
As if we have a schedule.
Yeah, right. What schedule? So, as the title of the stream implies, we are going to be talking about two video game-based movies that recently were released. Dude, it's looking like it's going to be a year of video game movies, because we've got the two we're talking about tonight. This month, we're getting a limited theatrical release of a movie adaptation of The Mortuary Assistant before it goes to streaming on Shudder next month.
Yeah, I'm going to be keeping an eye out to see if there's any here in Columbia, South Carolina.
We got Mario 2 coming out later this year. We've got Mortal Kombat 2, which the only thing that movie has going for it is Carl Urban playing Johnny Cage. And I still say it should have been Scott Adkins, but what the fuck ever.
What about Clint Eastwood's son?
Scott Eastwood? Maybe? But, I mean, I say Scott Adkins because he's already an established action star, if you follow the direct-to-video scene at all.
Yeah.
He just
I'm pretty sure he was in the 2013 Texas Chainsaw Massacre playing a cop.
Scott Eastwood, yeah, he was. But if you want an idea of like the type of character Scott Adkins could play as Johnny Cage, like watch him in the Undisputed sequels where he plays Yuri Boyka, and just picture that with an American accent, and you've got Johnny Cage right there. But you know, I guess for some reason they decided The Boys was that Carl Urban was a safer investment because The Boys is a thing.
Yeah, they can get fucked.
What else is later this year? I know we've got the Street Fighter movie coming out later this year, which I'm interested to see. The movie, the trailer they put out for it, that movie looks like the kind of video game movie we used to get in the 90s and the 2000s, and I kind of dig that. Because I have a soft spot for the Van Damme Raul Julia Street Fighter.
And also had the chick who played Mulan. Mei Ling Wen, I think. I forgot what it was. All I know is she was the voice of Mulan. She was like 30.
Okay, so she would have been... Okay. I just remember Van Damme and Raul Julia. And Zangief having some of the best lines in the movie. You got paid?
I mainly just remember, of course!
Of course! He faked his death to ensure his spies could infiltrate your organization. I guess you didn't see that, did you? He says to Sagat, who has one eye.
Lucky he didn't get killed for that. Because if someone said that to me, if I had one eye, I'm sorry. I'm swinging and they're going to go missing.
I mean, you could try, but it's M. Bison we're talking about.
I have a sword.
Zach Krager's Resident Evil is supposed to be out later this year. There's that, too.
And people are inevitably going to bitch about it.
That is true. You have seen Barbarian and Weapons, so you have told me that you feel it's in good Resident Evil's in good hands under him. I will, and you're more of a horror buff than I am. So I'll take that as a piece of cautious optimism.
Sounds about right.
But right now, we started this year off with two major video game based movies. One that is, in my opinion, kind of okay, and that is an absolute fucking banger. And we're gonna start off by talking about Christoph Gantz's return to Silent Hill. His first,
and it's a. Go ahead.
His first Silent Hill movie in 20 years. After doing the first movie in 2006 and not doing Silent Hill Revelation in 2012, so that directorial responsibility went over to M.J. Bassett, the director of the criminally overlooked Solomon Kane movie with James Purefoy.
And lo and behold, the Silent Hill movie is a repeat of the Welcome to Raccoon City fiasco 5 years ago.
Very much, because you
don't need to go out.
Silent Hill.
You don't need to go out.
Silent Hill 1, Christoph Gantz's first Silent Hill movie, which I consider one of the best video game-based movies ever produced, and I know I'm not alone in that. It was a case of, it took the basic concept of the first Silent Hill game and kind of reworked the story to fit its own end, which kind of more or less worked in its favor, because Silent Hill has no real, there's some games that are kind of sequential to each other, like Silent Hill Origins, Silent Hill 1, and Silent Hill 3, which kind of almost functions as a narrative trilogy. But Silent Hill, the actual video game franchise, has no set continuity. Each game kind of is almost like its own self-contained story, even with that trilogy aspect of Origin 1 and 3 that I just mentioned. It's an anthology. Yeah. It's an anthology series, so you can pretty much create any story you want with it and set it within the Silent Hill universe, and maybe it'll work, because whatever phenomenon occurs in Silent Hill, it's like Silent Hill, the town, doesn't generate the insane nightmare scenarios that the characters go through. It's their own fractured psyches that generate it.
Yeah. Don't expect to see Silent Hill up on the channel. That is one the ending you get with the ending you're stuck getting when you first played. Get the fuck off the freeze.
The joy.
The first ending you get, I said get the fuck off it. But the first ending you get, by default, your first playthrough, basically it seems like there's a siren going off and you're running through the street from something big, killing monsters. But turns out the pills that the main character's been taking sent her into a psychosis frenzy. And instead of killing monsters, she's killing and injuring people at her own wedding.
What a twist!
What?
I said.
Oh, yeah. What a twist!
Yeah. Doing the M. Night Shyamalan in Robot Chicken. What a twist!
Dude, M. Night. Dude. Don't get me started on Robot Chicken. I literally just watched a Bop It bit a little bit ago.
Ugh.
You know, the one where Bop It turns into a weapon and orders him to assassinate a political figure. Bop it, flip it, spend it, load it.
Yeah.
And when he gets caught, it says, end it.
Oh.
Then he ends up then the Bop It ends up in a jail cell next to someone who likes to peg, and he goes, damn it. But this film is an adaptation of Silent Hill 2. Again, yes. Another game you shouldn't expect to see on the channel. Wait, what?
I was just saying yes. Silent Hill 2, since Silent Hill 1 was what was based off of the Christoph Gantz's Silent Hill movie from '06 was based off of Silent Hill 1. Silent Hill Revelation was based off of Silent Hill 3. And now we're getting this, which is rather loosely based off of Silent Hill 2. I want to keep this as spoiler-free as I possibly can. Full disclosure, I have not personally played Silent Hill 2. I know I have a basic idea of some of the narrative beats that are within the story. I kind of want to preserve those for people who don't know the narrative beats at all. The only Silent Hill games that I have any personal experience with are the first one, which I played on the channel, and Homecoming on the 360, which was actually my first Silent Hill game ever. But
yeah, so far the only ones I've really played. It's funny. I played a lot. I played like 4 or 5 of them, but I've never completed any of them. I don't think, actually, except for Silent Hill F. I completed that one once, but stopped after I got the traumatizing default original ending, which you get in the first playthrough. I'm currently trying to work. I'm gonna come back to Silent Hill 2 remake as soon as I'm done with Dead Space remake. I played the free on PS5 game Silent Hill: The Short Message. Never didn't complete that one either because it reminded me too much of certain incidents. But I have also played, but I did play little bits of 2 and 4 as well. The third one I never really showed interest in. I don't know why. I just never got around to Silent Hill 3, but 4 is the one I got. 4 is the one, besides Silent Hill F, that I got into most of the story. Like, I'd say about 75% done before I gave up. Walter was a dick.
I can't look at Henry with a straight face because I start thinking of Razor Fist's video on the Silent Hill games when he says that Henry looks like he spends every morning slathering himself in an adhesive mixture of rubber, cement, and ejaculate before diving headfirst into an Abercrombie and Fitch clothing rack.
Sounds like talking about Cyrax's quote-unquote beard.
Oh, that's just nasty. Oh. But, so, Return to Silent Hill, loosely based off of Silent Hill 2. We're following a lovesick, alcoholic painter named James Sutherland, who's played by... not James Sutherland, James Sunderland. Get it right, dumbass! James Sunderland, who's played by Jeremy Irvine, who is an alcoholic, he's a painter, and he receives a note from his girlfriend Mary, who is played by Hannah Emily Anderson, to meet her at their special place, which is in Silent Hill, but he gets there and finds what once was a flourishing New England township is now a fog-drenched pit of hell.
Yeah. It's also worth noting that plans for a new Silent Hill film adaptation began in December 2006. Christoph Gans and former writer Roger Avery have been hired. They were originally going to do a film adaptation of Silent Hill 2 back then. It was greenlit by Sony, However, for some ungodly reason, the project did not move forward. Instead, it was released as a sequel titled Silent Hill Revelation,
Well,
without Gans or Avery.
well, what happened there was Sony wanted the Silent Hill sequel to be more in line with Paul W.S. Anderson's Resident Evil movies, where it was more there was
Action.
there was more action, there was less emphasis on the psychological, and Christoph Gans is a huge Silent Hill fan. I mean, this guy would have a TV and a PlayStation set up on set during filming of the first movie, so he could give the crew an idea of the kind of movie he was aiming for, right down to the set design, the monster design, and the cinematography. Like this man personally sent an entire pitch video to Konami to let them to ask them to let him direct his Silent Hill movie. He was not about to turn Silent Hill into a Resident Evil style movie. And because he stuck to his guns, we ended up with the Solomon Kane director making a Silent Hill movie and trying to emulate Paul W.S. Anderson's Resident Evil, but for Silent Hill, which does not work, and it did not work, as you can well imagine.
Yeah. Dude, the fucking barbed wire entity in the first Silent Hill movie.
Like, if you wanted to have an idea of how bafflingly stupid Silent Hill Revelation is, the movie climaxes in a sword fight between two pyramid heads.
Yeah, I did not like that. Hang on, let me say it more like Sheldon. I did not like that.
Yeah, that was retarded.
Makes you want to ask the director, are you dumb, stupid, or retarded? And he'll just look at you and say yes.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, that movie came out after frickin' Resident Evil, like 2 years after Afterlife and around the same time as fucking Retribution, and it's like, it shows.
Yes, unfortunately it does. I think the only thing about that movie that really worked for me was that at least Sean Bean didn't die.
A very rare occurrence.
Yeah, which is funny because Harry dies in the Silent Hill 3 game, so. I vaguely remember, because it's been over a decade since I watched the movie, but I do vaguely remember liking the actress who played Heather. But that's another story.
She was alright. So was Kit Harington, but that was around the time of Game of Thrones.
Right. There's something about these types of movies that really attract Game of Thrones actors. I don't know what it is.
At least he didn't get roasted into the sun like freaking Bella Ramsey in The Last of Us. I mean, I personally didn't mind Bella Ramsey, but that's a discussion for another time.
I've watched a few clips from The Last of Us series, and she's not Ellie. I mean, I don't care for The Last of Us the games at all, but it's like not Ellie, and Pedro Pascal is not Joel. Period. Point blank. End of story. But
may the fetal alcohol syndrome be with you. Especially after that goddamn "I'm gonna be a dad" line.
Oh god.
Again, love you, Bella. Love, not Ellie.
Yeah. I'm gonna use that.
Should have been Andrew Lincoln or John Bernthal as Joel,
or Josh Brolin.
Yeah.
Josh Brolin and Kaylee Spaney would have made significantly more sense.
Back in the, Caitlin Deaver looks more like Ellie than Abby.
So does Kaylee Spaney.
Yep. But
getting back to Return to Silent Hill.
Yeah, fuck off, Neil Cuckman. Anyway.
Anyways. It's hard to really go into this kind of movie when you're not totally sure what to expect. Like, I knew the basic gist of Silent Hill 2 going into this movie. I knew the twist. I knew the major twist involving James and Mary, and I'm not going to spoil it here if you're unfamiliar with the twist. I will say, for the majority of the movie, you're watching Jeremy Irvine and Hannah Emily Anderson because she's playing 4 characters in this movie. So to juggle 4 different versions of her, 4 different manifestations of Mary at the same time, or you're jumping from one character to another. I mean, that's an insane accomplishment. I feel like her line reading was kind of off at parts, but I like as Mary, kinda as Maria. Like, I feel like she was really into it when she was playing Maria.
It's also worth noting that the young girl named Laura, who you encounter in Silent Hill 2, the girl who plays her here is the same one who played her in the remake of Silent Hill 2.
That's true. Evie Templeton portrays Laura.
I thought that was interesting.
Just as interesting as them hiring Akira Yamaoka to do the score when he's done the score for several Silent Hill games, including Silent Hill 2.
Yeah. We have got to talk about Eddie at some point.
Oh. So
if you're a hardcore fan of Silent Hill 2, you already know where this is going, so we're not going to.
Eddie was such a character.
I just have flashbacks to playing the original and hitting over the head with the iron pipe 10 times, and he just says, "See you later."
Dude, Eddie looked so haggard in this movie. It was kind of insane because I've seen pictures of Eddie in the game. He
completely snaps.
He almost looked like they were trying to make him look Jack Blackish. I don't know if you got that vibe from him. I hardcore got that vibe from him.
I thought he looked like one of the freaking rednecks who got the shit fucked up. I thought he looked like one of the rednecks who got the shit pulled out of them in Rob Zombie's Halloween 2.
A little bit.
Like when Michael tries when they see Michael wandering the field, they get out and beat the shit out of him, and he gets up and proceeds to slaughter them, even killing the girl who tried to protect them.
A little bit, kinda, maybe. I could sort of see it.
Hold up, I gotta look some.
There's one aspect of this. There's a couple of things about this movie that I do have a bit of a gripe with, and I'm not going to put them aside, even though I do think this movie doesn't deserve the hate that it has gotten in reviews and from, well, let's be real, Silent Hill fans.
He looks like Teach Grant. He looks like Teach Grant, aka the frickin' bully, the adult version of the bully in It Chapter 2.
I was about to ask who the hell that is, but that would explain it because I've never watched the It movies.
Teach Grant played.
But there are a couple of aspects of this movie that I could have done without, and one of them was, I don't know if you noticed it, but so in the first Silent Hill movie, the town was, yeah, there was some CGI enhancements for the town, but the town was pretty much mostly set design. It was a large chunk of it was actual, like, they built that set. They built the street sets for that area. And in this one, there's some set building, but a good portion of it is very clearly like Jeremy Irvine and Hannah Emily Anderson acting around a green screen on a soundstage, and that kind of just doesn't sit right with me.
It was definitely bizarre.
It was an oddity to see, and there's another oddity for my money. Apparently, this is a movie that was supposed to run for substantially longer than it does. Like, the version we got in theaters was an hour and 46 minutes long. Apparently, Christoph Gans had a longer version ready to go. It was it would be a slow burn psychological descent into madness, kind of what you expect a Silent Hill movie to be. And this movie was produced independently of it. Sony had nothing to do with producing the movie. They did not distribute the movie. This movie was entirely financed by outside investors and released independently through Cineverse, which is the company who distributed Terrifier 3. But for whatever baffling reason, Christoph Gans's distributors mandated an under 2-hour runtime, and you can tell because there's clearly supposed to be a lot more meat on the story, but a good portion of it feels like you're getting close to getting drip fed more information or more stuff about James and Mary's fractured relationship before the movie just rushes you along. It's like it's trying to be it's supposed to be this slow beat, this slow burning elevator ride into hell, and instead it's a roller coaster that rushes you from one haunted house sequence to the next, and that really bothers me.
It was going a little fucking quick.
It did. A little too much for my taste. I feel like there was clearly supposed to be more given, and this is one of those movies that gets butchered in the edit because distributors don't understand art and don't understand that you don't just slash an artist's canvas. But I'm hoping that we get an extended cut. I'm hoping that Christoph Gans will have an extended cut ready for the movie's Blu-ray release, because I want to see that version. I want to see the version we were supposed to get, but we didn't.
Yeah. To quickly throw in, what'd you say?
I don't know where I was about to go. I think I was about to talk about the monster design and the way the monsters are, because there's sorry.
I'm sorry, this freaking dog. I was just gonna say that looks like several Cartoon Network classes are heading to Tubi. Maybe put a ray of sunshine on this.
I saw a Twitter post that Cow and Chicken was going to be on Tubi, and I don't think Gen Z is ready for the aberrant insanity that is Cow and Chicken.
Or that one Nickelodeon show where they literally, or the one of the characters had a freaking log of wood on his ass, and the other one was literally driving him a freaking saw.
That was Ren and Stimpy.
I'm about to go put this in the safe.
I'm
Don't give me
wondering.
that stink eye.
I wonder if Cow if they bring Cow and Chicken up, I wonder if they're gonna have the episode, the episode with the lesbians. I forget the context. I forget.
You mean the devil from Powerpuff Girls?
Well, there was an episode that involved a group of what are clearly supposed to be lesbians, and there's a gag that involves them chewing on carpets.
Dude, it's just a toy. Stop acting like it's crack.
I don't think Gen Z is ready for the carpet muncher gag from Cow and Chicken.
Yeah. No, they're not. Stop. This is a toy. It's not crack.
The meltdowns are going to be hilarious, though, if they ever get a hold of that episode. Dude, the meltdowns on Twitter are going to be fucking cinema.
I might have a reason to get back on Twitter.
But
also, to anyone concerned about my dog, I swear to Christ, I am not Hassan. This dog's squeaky toy is driving me insane. I picked it up to take it away from him, and he's crying. He's giving me looks like the cat at the beginning of that one Markiplier video, like I'm gonna meow the fuck out of you.
Nah.
Except he's saying he's slapping me now. He's slapping me now. Chill. He shook his head at me like, no.
I do.
You're about to hear a rattling noise.
I will say one other thing in this movie's favor that I do like. Jeremy Irvine's acting is really good in this movie.
He really did embody James well, I thought.
He's just based on some of the few clips of James that I have seen. Like, I think he fits into the character pretty good. I did really like Hannah Emily Anderson as when she was Maria. I could take it or leave it when she was playing Mary and when she's playing Angela. I feel like that's another character where I feel like there's so much more to her character that was supposed to be in the movie but got removed because of the distributors mandating an under 2-hour runtime. If you know Angela's backstory and just how horrifying it is, like,
it is traumatizing, my dude.
It is so it's one of the darkest pieces of Silent Hill 2 lore.
10 out of 10, don't recommend reading at 3 a.m.
Yeah, most definitely. I do appreciate that the monsters in this movie. One thing Christoph Gans did get right is that he did he did it for the 2006 movie, and he did it for this one, where the monsters are 95% contortionists in full body prosthetic makeup. It's the case for
that was a hell of a thing, bro.
It really is. That's the case for the lying figure, which is the monster that vomits acidic liquid out of its chest, which that was in the first Silent Hill movie. It's back in this one. That's the case for Pyramid Head.
They also brought back the spitters.
Well, that's what I'm talking about. That they're called the lying figures.
Yeah, those are fun in the remake. They're fun to beat the shit out of with a pipe.
Mm-hmm. That's the
or
case
at the beginning. At the beginning, you just get like a freaking 2x4 wooden thing, and then later you get an iron pipe. I think you get an axe at some point. I don't know.
That's the case for the Spider Lady, which if you played Silent Hill 2, yeah, the Spider Lady makes an appearance. The nurses, of course, because you gotta have the nurses in Silent Hill.
I hated the fucking spider lady.
And very much the case for, even though he...
That's why I didn't complete the original.
And very much the case for, even though he doesn't contort his body at all, Pyramid Head. Once again, an actor in full body makeup with the helmet. It's...
Yeah.
I can respect the hell out of the fact that they are actors in costume and not full CGI creations. See also the Lickers in all of the Resident Evil movies. I mean, I know in a couple of the Resident Evil movies they had like Licker dummy heads for specific shots, but those things are pretty much the majority of the time they were created in CGI. I think that was the case with Birkin's full mutation in Welcome to Raccoon City as well.
Dude, those freaking zombies in the Requiem trailer yesterday where they looked like... I swear those are the freaking rejected Licker zombies from Resident Evil 2 Remake. Because if you pause it, they look like Licker heads. You know, the one that Leon runs up and kicks.
You may be right about that.
Yeah, I was honestly hoping for Crimson Heads in the Resident Evil 2 Remake. Go ahead.
I think Requiem is supposed to have Crimson Heads.
Well, let's face it, if they would have done Resident Evil 2 Remake like 20 years ago, like in the style of the Resident Evil 1 Remake, they definitely would have had Crimson Heads, and if you left them alone long enough, they would have turned into Lickers.
Dude, that would actually be fucking insane. Dude, we were
They would have done it. They would have done it in that style back then.
Dude, we were robbed so hard. Now that I think of that, that would have made an extra layer of challenge for the game. That would have made it even more interesting to play through.
I mean, I would have liked it.
That would have made
sense.
That would have been amazing.
Because it goes from zombie to Crimson Head to Licker.
Oh.
Or they probably would have given us some weird hybrid, like in that one scrap design that, we were given in a remake.
Yeah. But one other thing that I was not a fan of with Return to Silent Hill, and this is a massive spoiler, so I'm not gonna dive too deeply into it. Pun marginally intended. If you've seen the movie,
yeah,
the movie seems like it's going to end one way, but then it kind of backpedals on itself, and that's not Christoph Gans doing it because of commerciality. Apparently, Konami approached him and asked him to make the ending less depressing, which is why it goes in that direction.
Should have been the alien ending.
No, it should have been the dog ending.
Dude, I think there's literally an ending in the remake where James is kidnapped and he encounters his Silent Hill 2 original counterpart. Like the model from Silent Hill 2 original.
Right.
And I remember watching it on YouTube and I'm just like, let's just say I was Aunt May at the ending of Spider-Man Homecoming. What the fuck?
But yeah, I was not a fan of that, but and if I was Christoph Gans, I would have just told them straight up, like, no. If we do it that way, then the ending just comes off as spineless. But I get there might have been there's that underlying respect for because it was the original because it was the devs that came to him and asked him that to make the ending less depressing. But it's like, man, have a spine, stick to your guns.
Oh, they haven't seen Depressing till they've seen Silent Hill Homecoming.
Yeah.
Dude, as soon as I figured out that the main character lost his little brother to drowning, and his favorite toy was that freaking rabbit, that pink rabbit toy you see in every Silent Hill, apparently, I just couldn't play it anymore. It was too fucking depressing. Kind of like same with the fake fan base bitching about this movie is depressing.
Well, the Silent Hill community pretty much refuses to let this franchise move past the Team Silent years. How many Silent Hill fan posts do you see where it could basically just be summarized as I like Pyramid Head and sexy nurses and envy.
Yeah, that's some Rule 34 shit you don't want to see.
Yeah.
I'm not sleeping tonight. The thought entered my head, and it's like, I'm gonna need like 2 gallons of bleach for my brain. Or better yet, my dog can get it. My dog can fart in my face. I wake up a pink eye, and the pain of that will distract me from that thought.
Mm-hmm.
And that sounded very bad. I'm sorry, buddy.
So yeah,
he's looking at me wagging his tail.
So Return to Silent Hill, better than Revelation.
I give it at least an 8. I give it an 8.
Do what?
I'm so sorry. It's delayed us slightly. But I was just gonna say I give it an 8.
Better than Revelation, not as good as the first one. I hope to God there is an extended cut on the Blu-ray because I want to see the version we were supposed to get. And can we stop? The fuck was that?
Oh, the controller was on the Godzilla stand and Beef knocked it off. He sniffed it and he pushed it off. And it's like, stop. And he tried to snip it again. Right as I put it on there, and it's like, stop. Hey, I got 5 views in 42 minutes. That's nice.
But
normally it's 0 views in 42 minutes.
But unlike Return to Silent Hill, where its director was beholden to a distributor, an outside distributor's whims and outside investors' whims, we move on to the second movie of our discussion tonight, and that is Markiplier's directorial debut, Iron Lung.
Iron fucking Lung.
And this is his first, yes, he's directed skits and comedy sketches. Yes, he's directed the choose your own adventure style stuff like A Date with Markiplier, Who Killed Markiplier, A Heist with Markiplier, In Space with Markiplier.
But yet, this movie is not for the faint of heart.
No, this is not. This movie is a movie, and it's
funny. I'm sorry, but funny thing. A couple weeks ago, when I was at my church institute class, I've heard like 2 or 3 people talking about how they were going to see it that weekend.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. One of my friends, he said, "I need to see Iron. We need to go see Iron Lung. It's going to be so good." And next time when I see him on Wednesday, I'm going to tell him all about it. And he's probably seen it by now. So even my church friends are excited about it. That should say a lot.
Yeah, it does. This movie was unlike Return to Silent Hill, which was made by outside investors independently, but still the money was raised by outside investors and distributed by a third-party company. This is a movie that was entirely Markiplier wrote it, he directed it, he's the main editor on it. There are other editors involved with the movie, but he's like the main editor. He financed this movie entirely out of his own pocket for a $3 million budget. and he made himself a
Go ahead.
and he made himself a one location slow burn cosmic horror movie that eclipses that just eclipses mainstream Hollywood horror.
And as of this stream, it has made 43.1 million.
Yes.
It is definitely back its budget. Full, like 10 full.
14 times its production budget, and the way and Markiplier is the distributor. So this movie was entirely produced and distributed independently. So he's getting a 50% cut of that box office revenue. The other 50% is going to the theater chains that played the movie. But that is, and he has said that he's gonna give his cast and crew a nice fat bonus out of his cut of the movie, and out of
that's just the kind of person he is, you know.
And whatever's left over, he's going to use to fund the next project. But this was one that I was following the second it was announced, because I have played the Iron Lung game, and I was very curious to see how he would expand on the game's lore and how he could build a cinematic story around it. And the way this movie is set up, this is not this movie is very clearly not going to be everything for everyone, nor should it try to be. Like, movies, hot take, but movies should not try to be everything for everyone. And when you try to be everything for everyone, you end up being nothing to anyone. Just look at the MCU. Just look at post Snyder DC.
Yeah, it's. I stopped watching Watch Mojo because they shit on the Snyderverse every chance they get, and it's like, fuck you, you blazed the MCU.
Yeah, well, shitting on Zack Snyder is also trendy, and Watch Mojo is the most normie-coded cunt wash, or among the most normie-coded cunt wash out there.
Yeah, the current administration of Watch Mojo. You are a cunt. Big fat stinking cunt. Everybody knows from your head to your toes you're a motherfucking cunt. Or however the fuck the song went, I don't know.
Close enough.
It got the point across, anyway.
So, for those of you who have not played the Iron Lung, who have not played David Szymanski's Iron Lung game, for those of you who have not watched playthroughs of David Szymanski's Iron Lung game, so this movie, both the movie and the video game, take place in a distant future where mankind began to colonize space, and an event called the Quiet Rapture resulted in all the stars and all the planets of the solar system just mysteriously vanishing. So the only traces of human existence left are what few spaceships and space stations are still floating about, and in the in place of all the planets and all the stars are these desolate moons, and one of the moons is this moon AT4, which has oceans of blood on it. So almost like SCP-354 type shit. And
it's also worth noting that on digital storefronts, like I'm looking at on the PS5 store right now, and it's freaking $8.
I did see that David Szymanski raised the price on it by $2 when I got a hold of it, I think it was like $6. Like, originally it was $6, but then he raised the price $2 extra, and people threw a shit fit over it.
he raised the price and people threw a shit fit.
Yeah, he raised the price by $2 because it was $6 at launch.
Okay, well, it's only $2. Why the fuck you bitching?
Because $2 is $2.
It must be Karen.
But
there's like some strange, weird apocalyptic event that happens called the Quiet Rapture, where all stars and planets.
Kason, I was just explaining this.
My brain just shat itself in real time.
So what? So
go on.
And so Markiplier's character is a convict who is imprisoned for his involvement in the destruction of a space station, which they reference this several times throughout the movie, in which he insists he was falsely accused of the destruction of this place called the Filament Station. Well, this
Markiplier's a good boy.
Well, this in the future government that kind of runs the show at post Quiet Rapture, this group called the Consolidation of Iron, has this system where where prisoners can basically work off their sentences in exchange for being reintegrated into society. Well, one of the tasks involves getting inside of one of these burner subs nicknamed the Iron Lung, and they're basically these things were cobbled together out of scrap metal and duct tape and crazy glue. And Markiplier's character is put into one of these subs and sent into one of the blood oceans on AT4 to chart out the to chart the ocean and bring back any semblance of some kind of elements that they could use to that the COI, the Consolidation of Iron, could use to synthesize to create new resources to sustain humanity.
Yeah, but it's worth noting Troy Baker's in the cast.
Yes, so for like 98% of the movie, and this is an over 2-hour movie, for 98% of the movie, you are locked in to you're inside this one submarine, and the only character you see for the overwhelming majority of the movie is Markiplier's character. And like, yeah, there's one scene where the sub gets put up in a research dock, and you see a couple other characters, but for the majority of the movie, he can only communicate with the researchers through this speaker in the sub, and so the majority of it is like voiceover acting. So you have voice actors like Troy Baker has a couple of spots in it. The majority of the dialogue is from Caroline Rose Kaplan, who plays the research lead in the movie. And as the movie progresses, you are watching Markiplier's character progressively lose his sanity from the failing systems within the sub, oxygen levels dropping, there being something alive inside the blood that is just stalking him. And
yeah, if you play the game, you know there's a monster in that blood, like a huge ass monster.
Yeah, and almost Lovecraftian beast. Basically,
imagine like the Cthulhu from the 2020 film Underwater, but it's more fleshy and fish-like.
Yeah, it's like an overgrown Cthulhu-esque eel, which is literally what it's called in the production notes for the movie. It's nicknamed, like, the person who did concept art for the film has posted some concept images on Twitter of the creature, and they have said that they nicknamed it the eel.
Yeah, it's pretty. Let's just say it's like the creatures in Bird Box. Looking at will drive you fucking nuts.
Pretty much. And now,
Also, speaking of which, thank God this wasn't a Netflix movie.
yes, yes, and there's a good reason why it's in theaters, which is because, like, I mean, Markiplier understands his audience better than Hollywood understands their own audience, because Hollywood doesn't listen to their audience anymore, and Markiplier understands there's a desire to go out to have new experiences and to go see new movies. The problem is 98.5% of the movies that come out are just kind of not that fucking good and aren't worth the price of admission. And this is coming from someone who goes to the movies regularly.
I don't go to the movies regularly, but I always hit them when I can.
Right. But
like I got to see these two movies we're talking about back to back, and honestly, I needed that double dose of horror.
But this movie is very different from Return to Silent Hill, because there was nobody to tell Mark, you need to cut this, you need to trim this, you need to take this out. He is the distributor and he is the producer, so he had final say over the movie that is now out in theaters. And I've been seeing a lot of people try to say, oh, this movie's too long, it's like 30 minutes too long, and it's like, it's not that this movie is quote-unquote too long, it's over 2 hours in length. The problem is that this movie, that I think a lot of these people are having, is that this movie feels too long, because our brains are so fried from the last 10, 15 years of mainstream Hollywood movies that just do not allow their films time to breathe, where every movie is just, we got to get from one set piece to the other, we got to go, we can't stop for too long, or you'll lose the audience, you'll lose their attention, they'll be on their phones, we got to keep going, and we gotta reiterate the plot 3 to 4 fucking times in the dialogue, because people are too busy playing around on their phones to pay attention to the movie they put on in the first goddamn place, Netflix!
Okay.
It's fucking maddening.
I had to take my headphones off. Even Beef's ears have gone back. It was still coming for the speaker, even though I had headphones on.
Oh.
Don't worry, Chris is not psychotic.
Are you sure about that?
You said it, not me.
But
he's like, he already has to deal with one psycho, and that's me.
But yeah, if you wanna know the kind of horror you're in for with this movie, like, this movie is in no hurry to get to the next scare scene. It's a movie that progressively, it's very much in line with the game. It's progressively unfolding as the story goes on. It's
progressively Go ahead.
It's a movie that's in no hurry to get to the next trippy sequence. You're on this journey with Markiplier's character. And I don't want to say his character's name, because apparently they censor his name on Markiplier's podcast, so I guess they consider the dude's name to be a spoiler.
Yeah, and it progressively unfolds, and it's progressively unfolding and progressively unsettling.
Yeah, like if you want to know if you want to know the way horror movies used to be, like, go watch The Omen from the 70s, or go watch the original Exorcist, or go watch the original Alien, or go watch the original Halloween, or go watch The Shining. Like,
Dude, the remake of The Omen pisses me off.
Like Richard Donner with The Omen, William Friedkin with The Exorcist, Kubrick with The Shining, John Carpenter with Halloween, and Ridley Scott with Alien. Those movies are not in a hurry to get from one scare scene to the other. They are movies that take their time and they slowly unfold over time, and you're following these characters through a cinematic story, which is what movies don't have most of right now. We don't have we don't have movies that tell stories. We have movies that tell a situation. And Iron Lung is not a situation. Like, yeah, it is. It's a story.
I don't know this. I don't know if we mentioned this yet, but this currently holds the record for most blood used in a horror movie.
Yes, that is true. So, Markiplier, there's a lot of great practical work in this movie, and there are a couple of moments of CGI usage. There's a really trippy scene in the movie where there is some CGI usage, and it looks so smooth, largely because he personally built a server farm in one of his bathrooms so that he could have powerful enough visual effects, not to rival like ILM, but definitely on the level of like some of the more low end visual effects houses. Just in one of his personal bathrooms. But there's a lot of practical effects work in this movie. The set design, like the interior of the sub, which is where most of the movie takes place, is almost a 1-to-1 replication of the interior from the sub from the video game. And Kaysen just brought up the blood. Yes, this movie holds a world record for the most amount of practical, like, fake blood used in a movie. The previous record holder was Fede Alvarez's Evil Dead from 2013, which used about 50,000 gallons of fake blood. Iron Lung used about 80,000 gallons of fake blood.
That's 300,000 liters.
Yep. And he had to be hospitalized for getting too much of that fake blood in his eyes. And there's a Q&A on that's out there where he talks about how not only had the blood expired by the time they got around to actually filming the scene where he would have all that blood in his eyes, but it would also strip the paint completely off the interior of the subset. So fake blood getting mixed in with dried paint chips just getting in his eyes. Like, when you see the movie, you'll fully understand exactly why he had to be hospitalized for getting too much fake blood in his eyes. Oh, we should also mention. So how does he navigate? Because the pressure at the bottom of this ocean is so great that he literally cannot have the porthole at the front of the sub open, because it'll just smash open and the sub will implode. So they have the port shield completely sealed off. The only way he can see what is in front of him is through a camera that is mounted on the front of the sub, which is like an X-ray camera, but somebody actually calculated the amount of X-ray radiation that it puts off when with each time he hits the flash on that thing is roughly equivalent to a mini nuke. So that's something that he's got to deal with throughout the movie.
Basically, trying to save humanity in an ever decaying sub.
And dude, the cinematography in this movie is fucking insane. Like
It was fucking phenomenal.
the amount of depth that is in several of these shots, the way the light, the way the interior of the sub is lit, the how the camera is at several points in the movie, the camera is constantly like panning along the front control console of the sub, like the it's a level of cinematography that you don't see in mainstream Hollywood movies, and it's infuriating that it's not in that. we have directors and we have DPs who are just not putting in effort into their shots in most Hollywood movies. It's just shot, 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 shot. Okay, we got our shots for the day. All right, we'll just move on.
I'm going to bed.
Yeah, it's very like the cinematography actually adds to the unsettling nature of the scenario, which works hand in hand with sound design, because a large portion of Iron Lungs horror comes from the fact that you are just hearing what is outside your sub, and it fucks with you on a psychological level. And
it really does. Like, I haven't been this fucked up psychologically watching a horror film since I went and saw Smile 2 in theaters back in 2024, and the first Smile in 2022.
Like, I mean, you're more of a horror guy than I am. Most horror movies I just kind of wouldn't piss on to put out a fire.
Yeah, you're more into just like Halloween and certain classic slashers.
Yeah, like,
by the way, Friday the 13th video when. maybe during the summer, because summer camp vibe.
There you go. That works for me.
But Chris is the boss; he decides.
That works for me, actually.
Yeah.
But at the sound design is just like I saw a lot of people complaining that of bad sound mixing. Like, they said that there were a large chunk of the movie where they couldn't hear the person on the speaker that Markiplier was talking to, which a good portion of the dialogue is his back and forth with people on the speaker of his sub. Apparently that was some bad mixing at certain theaters. Like, it was fine at my theater.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about, and it was fine at the theater I saw it at too.
Yeah, so it must have been just a handful of theaters that just completely fucked up the sound mixing. Like,
probably mostly small town ones.
Probably. Like, it worked just fine for my theater. You said it worked just fine for yours.
Yeah.
And all that working hand in hand with, like, yeah, we brought up Akira Yamaoka does the score for Return to Silent Hill, and he did the score for the early Silent Hill games. This movie bears a score from none other than Andrew Hulshult. And if you don't know who Andrew Hulshult is, he did the score for Doom Eternal.
Yep. Speaking of which, on PS5 and Series X, Doom the Dark Ages is currently on sale for 23 cents. Well, let's just say that the amount of money they took off of it was 66.6%.
Nice.
And if I get a $25 card, if I can get a $25 card this week when I go grocery shopping, I'm going to buy it.
Okay, so I'm looking at Andrew Holschild's discography. It looks like he did not do the score for Doom Eternal, the main game, but he did it for the Ancient Gods campaign expansion. However,
Still counts.
he did do the when Doom and Doom 2 had that update with like new graphics settings and a new soundtrack. It's his soundtrack. It's his covers of the classic Doom themes spliced into the updated.
Yeah, I did notice that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's his. And if you've never heard Andrew Holschild's covers of the Doom themes, it's the most metal shit you've ever heard in your life.
Dude, remember last year on the stream we were looking at that guy playing Doom like it was a cover shooter?
Oh my god, yes.
And he just kept getting roasted. He just kept getting roasted by a computer voice reading comments, and I lost my shit at the one where it said pizza time stops.
Yes.
Really? Because for me, it was the one where it shows the guy in the holy arm at the drink at the soda fountain thing, and it says holy music stops.
This is not how you doom. This is how you doot.
Or a picture of Jesus going, forgiveness stops.
So Andrew Holschild.
Some of my Mormon friends agree. Just saying. Anyway.
So Andrew Holschild's also done. Iron Lung is his first film score, but if you're a fan of David Zemansky's work, Andrew Holschild has also done the music for a first-person shooter that's kind of like a Doom style game that David Zemansky did back in 2018 called Dusk.
Dude, I think I played that one.
Yep. Same dev who made Iron Lung, by the way. David Zemansky loves his PS1 aesthetics, and for good reason, because the PS1 aesthetic is just great for horror games. That's why Puppet Combo uses it so much. Dude, I wish Puppet Combo's Night Shift movie was out right now, just because I'm so interested in seeing it. Plus, one of my favorite YouTubers has a cameo in it.
Yeah.
John Wolf.
I'm ready for. Go ahead.
John Wolf. John Wolf has a cameo in the Night Shift movie.
Nice. I'm just waiting on March 1st.
What's March 1st?
Because earlier when I mentioned that Cartoon Network shows were going to Tubi.
Mm-hmm.
So here's a list of somebody included, and it's a whopper. Animaniacs, Batman Brave and the Bold, Ben 10, Codename Kids Next Door, Courage the Cowardly Dog, Dexter's Lab, Ed, and Eddie, Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends, Justice League, the Powerpuff Girls, Teen Titans, the Batman, and Pinky and the Brain. With more probably soon to follow.
I saw a post on Twitter claiming that Cow and Chicken would be going to Tubi as well, which is why I brought up the Carpet Muncher thing.
Literally, the only thing I remember from Pinky and the Brain was that one episode where apparently the Brain grew to giant size, terrorized the city, and a Godzilla parody called Gollyzilla showed up. Don't you dare.
Yeah.
And it just ends with Brain saying, "That's the real Gollyzilla."
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Because obviously I remember most of what I remember from these shows are the Godzilla parodies, if there are any. Like the giant multi-eyed monster from Powerpuff Girls.
Yeah.
I think there was a commercial of a live action version of it back. Hey. But there's also Reptar, which I count as a Godzilla parody.
Close enough.
But anyways, Iron Lung. Definitely recommend.
Yeah. It's insane. This movie was only supposed to just play in 60 theaters, and word of mouth, Markiplier's own fans did that. This movie had no marketing budget. It was just him going on his channel and going, "Hello, everybody. My name is Markiplier, and I've made a movie. It's called Iron Lung." And all his fans pretty much were calling all their local theaters to get this movie playing in their theaters, and was supposed to just play in 60 theaters, and now it's playing in over 4,100 theaters.
Yeah, it's like you said on the that one solo stream. You said you hope that or when the DVD comes out, the bonus features and director commentary are Markiplier doing his usual YouTube thing.
Yeah, that would actually be kind of cool. Where there's a little window of him on his webcam in the corner, and he's just commentating over the whole thing.
Yeah.
And again, this movie was only supposed to be in theaters for 1 week. It's now, and then okay, well, we'll give it an extra week extension. It's now on its third week. It's playing for a third fucking week.
Here's how much you want to bet it's going to get to 55. It's going to get to 5. Let's see. Let's see how much. I cannot fucking talk today.
It's already at 43 mil. It might break 50 by the end of the weekend.
I really hope so. And if it goes for another week, maybe it'll hit 75 to 100 million.
And you know what's even more insane about this? Sam Raimi's new movie, Send Help, still hasn't turned a profit.
But like I said before the stream, I doubt Sam Raimi's losing sleep over it. He's probably happy there's a new face.
Yeah. Yes. So Sam Raimi's Send Help so far has only made $57 million against a $40 million budget. And Hollywood studios typically will match the production budget for their marketing budget, so it's probably more like $80 million. So it still hasn't even broke even yet. It's not in the turning a profit stage yet, and Markiplier has made over 14 times his production budget.
Yep. Oh, by the way, I'll go watch Predator Badlands on Hulu. Anyway,
dude, it's insane. This, like, Hollywood right now is at a point where, like, the majority of the mainstream Hollywood studios couldn't sell shit to a swarm of flies, and here is a YouTuber who just came in with he just wanted to make a movie. He just wanted to make a movie about a game that he loved so much and he was so intrigued by, and put up his own money, distributed it all himself, and he's eating their fucking lunch.
I like to think that Sam Raimi is going to reach out to Markiplier at some point and say congratulations.
Probably. You know, he's actually had he's brought up
sarcastically.
You know, he's brought up Markiplier's brought up that he's had phone calls from studios that are wanting to work with him, but because now you've made the movie, now you're making all the money. It's like, okay, now we're going to take you seriously. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Fuck you. And
I would just say fuck off.
Well, he has made it clear in no uncertain terms he plans on remaining fully independent. Because the traditional studio system, because this is a movie where it's like he had this movie made in the bag like 2023-ish. The reason it hasn't come out until now is because all these distributors that he was having meetings with kept wanting a bigger piece of the pie than they deserved, where it's like, we're going to take like 80% of your earnings, and it's like, you didn't make that. You didn't produce this movie. Why should I give you anything? So he teamed up with a guy who knew a thing or two about film distribution, and now it's like, fuck you, Hollywood. But, you know, the mainstream studio system is specifically engineered to fuck over the artists. And it doesn't have to be that way.
Yeah, Hollywood is currently scared.
So, yeah, this is something that I'm going to be following it very closely, which I've been following it closely since the announcement.
Imagine Markiplier in an Outlast or Dead Space movie.
I'm very curious to see what his next movie is going to be. I'm curious to see if it's going to be another adaptation of something, or if it's going to be something completely original from his own mind.
Didn't we talk about who we would cast in a Dead Space movie?
If we have, it's been a while.
Who would you cast as Isaac Clarke? Like an unknown actor or no?
I would go for an actor who maybe has leading man material, but hasn't been given that real like leading man role yet. Like somebody like Scott Eastwood or somebody like Wyatt Russell.
I can definitely see Wyatt Russell, Scott Eastwood. But let's face it, if they would have made a Dead Space movie years ago, it probably would have been Sam Worthington.
Most likely.
A.K.A. Alex Mason. Now, let's face it, if they make a movie based off Black Ops now, they're not going to bring back Sam Worthington.
No.
I guess he's too old.
Yeah. But yeah, so yeah, Markiplier, in the immortal words of Emperor Palpatine, we shall be watching your career with great interest.
Yep. Let's go.
Oh. And he's not the first YouTuber to put his hand in to take a stab at the filmmaking scene. Let's be real about that. Other YouTubers have come before him. Like, and I'm not talking like the Fred movie or the Smosh movie or Logan Paul's movie Airplane Mode. I'm talking like actual like movies. Like, I know, like the angry, like I know James Rolfe has the AVGN movie, which, I mean, that's a movie that was a Kickstarter movie for AVGN fans, and if you haven't seen it, it's fucking bonkers.
Hang on. Beef. Bullets. You looking at me like it's my toy. Fuck you.
Like,
Anyway.
Like, obviously, and of course, there's Raka, the guys who did Talk to Me and Bring Her Back, which did really well and are A24 releases. Chris Stuckman's movie, Shelby Oaks, that came out last year, which I haven't seen, but I've heard mixed things about. I don't know if you've seen it or not.
Seen what?
Chris Stuckman's movie, Shelby Oaks.
Hang on.
Yes, to think about it. Like, Chris Stuckman put out a movie?
Yeah, I have not seen it.
Yeah, I haven't seen it either, but it also got, like, zero marketing. It was released by Neon. I have not seen Talk to Me or Bring Her Back either, largely because I'm not a big horror guy.
I hope you mean Neon like it's some type of film company and not the dipshit influencer.
Yeah, no, Neon, the film studio. And they're kind of like A24. They do a lot of smaller independent releases.
Dion needs to fuck off already.
But I don't remember the last time I even heard about that shriveled up fucking weasel. But anyway,
Jason Statham to play Jason Statham, and Jason Statham stole my bike from Dave. What?
from I saw
Jason
that.
Statham
I saw that post.
by David Leitch, and it's what the hell is this?
That's certainly a mouthful of a premise. But it's from David Leitch, so it might be sort of kind of entertaining because David Leitch has some decent movies under his belt.
Never heard of him.
David Leitch, he's the guy who he was one of the he was Chad Stahelski's uncredited co-director on the first John Wick movie. He also on his own directed Atomic Blonde. He did Deadpool 2, he did Hobbs and Shaw.
Speaking of which,
He did The Fall Guy with Ryan Gosling and Emily Blunt.
speaking of which, new John Wick game this year looks like.
Yeah, well, we had the trailer on it on yesterday's stream.
Yeah, and I lost my shit in the chat. Actually, I lost my shit before the stream started, and I told you about it.
Yeah. So yeah, two relatively solid video game based movies. One that I really hope we see an extended cut of because I really want to see what got removed. What I really want to see the full canvas and not the slashed version that we got in theaters. And then we have this movie, we have Return, and that's in Return to Silent Hill, and then we have this movie, Iron Lung, where it's the full canvas, and maybe it has flaws with pacing, even though I feel it was paced perfectly fine. Markiplier's acting, and the dude can act his ass off, and I don't think people realize that. Yeah, you see him like being such a hammy character in his YouTube videos. The dude can fucking act. Really fucking act.
Really can.
Yeah, and if you need further proof of that, he has a series called Edge of Sleep, which just got moved from Amazon Prime over to Tubi. And it's a 6-episode series, and I don't know if they're working on another season of it or not, but dude, it was after watching that where I was like, okay, I gotta see this guy in other stuff. Like this like you have one movie that was a butchered canvas, and then you have this movie, Iron Lung, which is a full canvas. For whatever issues you may have with it, this was unquestionably a passion project from a guy who just no ego, no self-aggrandizing bullshit. He loved David Szymanski's game enough to make a movie out of it, and God damn it, it's taking him to the moon.
And beyond.
Yeah. So, yeah, if Return to Silent Hill is still playing in your area, I would suggest checking it out. Or wait till the extended cut drops, if the extended cut drops. This one, Iron Lung, absolutely, if you haven't had the chance to see it, get a couple hours cleared, go in with an open mind and a full attention, and give it your fullest attention. This movie, you know the thing about every time the Hollywood system gets way too bloated for its own good, it's always the independent spirits that come in to course correct the film market. Like, this happened after it got too big and bloated in the 60s, the 70s gave way to the Brian De Palmas and the Martin Scorseses and the Steven Spielbergs and the George Lucases. And then the 80s gave us that whole wave of family friendly, semi corporatized blockbusters. And the 90s came in to course correct again when you had guys like Robert Rodriguez and Quentin Tarantino and Jon Favreau and Doug Liman to course correct with their indies. Richard Linklater, Kevin Smith. I feel like Markiplier could be leading the next stage of the film industry completely course correcting. And this time showing that you don't need Hollywood to get your movie out there. You don't need the gatekeepers, you don't need the suits, you don't need the bullshit. And that's which is why Mark, I was watching an interview with him before the stream. That's why Mark went in this distributing his movie this way, to prove that you don't need the industry gatekeepers to get your stuff out there.
Yeah.
And God bless him for it. So yeah, I don't know if do you have any final thoughts, because I pretty much just used up mine.
Go see Iron Lung.
Most definitely. Go see Iron Lung.
We definitely talked more about it than we did for Silent Hill.
Because there's so much more to talk about with. You know what's funny? I brought up Robert Rodriguez. Guess where they shot this movie at? Troublemaker Studios, which is Robert Rodriguez's studio.
Also, it's worth noting that if they did a movie based on Silent Hill like 20 years ago, I feel like Keith Sutherland would have been a good James Sunderland.
Holy shit. You're not
definitely has
wrong.
the facial structure for it.
You're not wrong.
If you want to see him in a good supernatural horror film, look at Mirrors.
Or, hold on, I'm going to make sure this. I was going to drop another suggestion, but I want to see if it first is classified as. I mean, it's psychological horror, Flatliners.
Let me look at that. I'll have to look at it.
Dude, Flatliners is so good. The original.
It has a 24-year Sutherland.
Yeah, the original from the 90s, not the 2017 remake.
Oh, it also has Oliver Platt. Who's in Chicago Med.
And Kevin Bacon and Julia Roberts.
Didn't this get like didn't this have a remake that got like Shadow Drop or something?
Yeah, and the remake went up like a wet fart, so.
Like Keith Sutherland came back for it? What the hell?
He must have needed a couple $100 till Tuesday.
Oh, it had Diego Luna in it. I feel like Diego Luna would have been a good Carlos Oliveira.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's freaking Andor.
But yeah, don't watch the remake. Watch the Joel Schumacher version from the 90s.
And before you say, what Batman Forever, he apologized for those movies before his death. It's fine.
Also, Batman Forever and Batman and Robin aren't that fucking bad.
Yes.
If you look at them as like the 90s version of the Adam West Batman series, they're not that bad. At least those movies are self-aware. And they're actually about Batman.
And wasn't there like something in like a court somewhere where it said you may have committed a heinous crime, but at least it didn't make Batman and Robin?
It's like, it's not even that bad of a movie. Although the director's commentary on Batman and Robin is hilarious because it's just 2 hours of Joel Schumacher apologizing for making the movie.
Oh, and get this. Despite his apology, he still defended the infamous bat nipples as an artistic choice.
Well, yeah, because he wanted those suits. He wanted Batman and Robin he wanted the bat suit and the Robin suit to resemble Greek gods, which is why they're anatomically correct.
Yeah, sadly we lost Joel Schumacher in 2020.
Yeah.
He wasn't okay, so I'm gonna admit I wasn't a fan of a lot of his movies, but he did put out some bangers.
Yes, he did.
Lost Boys, Time to Kill, Phone Booth. You've probably never seen Phone Booth. Flatliners, as previously mentioned. I'm just looking through and naming off the movies he's been in. I've seen
The number 23.
He was in that. Yep, I've seen it.
Yeah. One of Jim Carrey's rare non-comedic films.
It actually traumatized me a little.
That
It had Virginia Madsen in it, and she was in Candyman.
That was such a bizarre movie to watch when you're used to Jim Carrey's more wacky roles.
It also had Patricia Belcher in it. Patricia Belcher played. And she played a character in the show Bones, but she also played a bitchy next door neighbor in shows I liked as a kid. Yeah, as an adult, I can go back and call certain childhood characters bitchy. Dude, if you want to talk about non-comedic Jim Carrey, what about Dark Crimes?
What about Dark Crimes? Was that what?
You know, it's about a detective. He's investigating. He's investigating several things when he discovers similarities between the murder of a businessman and a novel written by an author.
Ah. With a 0% approval rating on Rotten Tomatoes.
I didn't think. Hey, I watched it when it came out. I didn't mind it. Isn't Jim Carrey like 60?
64.
Jesus Christ! I was not expecting that. You missed the joke.
I was expecting you to finish it. But okay.
I was not expecting that. That's all I know.
But I was expecting not to expect something, so it doesn't count.
It's been a while since I watched Sonic.
Oh, well, you got at least a year to get back on it, since Sonic 4 is supposed to be out next year.
I'm probably going to opt to see Godzilla X Kong Supernova instead of it.
I mean, that's fair.
And you're going to see the Zelda movie.
Fuck yeah. Well, although that release got pushed to May of 2027, so...
Fuck it. Godzilla X Kong Supernova discussion, everybody. So you're probably going to wait for that one to drop.
We'll see.
Like on HBO Max or physical.
I don't have HBO Max because I'm not going to give David Zaslav any more of my any substantial streaming money because fuck David Zaslav.
Yeah, he's the dipshit who keeps getting our favorites taken off HBO Max.
Well, yeah, so he doesn't have to pay the voice actors who are involved in them.
Yeah, I think we've established that Warner Brothers is a bunch of greedy fucking dipshits.
Well, yeah,
Remember the whole
homie came
Justice League debacle where they wanted their bonuses, so they fired Zack Snyder.
They wanted their annual bonuses, so they used the excuse of Zack Snyder mourning his daughter to replace him with Joss Whedon, so they could have Joss Whedon spend 7 months cobbling together something sort of kind of vaguely resembling as a Justice League movie, so they could release that unholy Frankenstein's monster into theaters and collect their annual bonuses and then wash their hands of Zack Snyder for good. Except corpo executives, because they're all fundamentally fucking retarded.
Yeah, I saw the Whedon with my now ex, and we're both of the same opinion that it fucking sucked.
I wanted to be a little more lenient towards it, but then I saw the Snyder cut and I was just like, this is inexcusable.
And yet both versions are on HBO Max right now.
Yeah.
They should just delete that shit from existence.
Anybody who claims the Whedon cut is better than the Snyder cut, the fact that those people are allowed to vote genuinely scares me.
Dude, Batman with prep time could have kicked Steppenwolf's ass faster than Superman with prep time.
But
and Ben Affleck was a good Batman. Fuck you.
Yes, he deserved so much more.
But you know, this whole starting out getting your own solo film, but you know, it's something different with a different actor. It not only happened to Ben Affleck, it also happened to the Catwoman movie from like 20 years ago was supposed to be a Michelle Pfeiffer film. They got pushed back. That pushed me out.
Well, we were robbed twice. And
Warner Brothers can just suck it at this point.
And that is why corpos should not hold all the power in greenlighting in what gets greenlit.
You have to repeat that last part.
And that is why corpos should not hold as much power over what gets greenlit.
Yeah, fuck that.
Because they're artistically retarded.
Autistically or artistically? Wait, never mind.
Artistically.
But final thoughts. We've already gone way off top. Final thoughts on Return to Silent Hill and Iron Lung. Seeing those two movies back to back, like I said, I needed that double dose.
In my case, Return to Silent Hill, I enjoyed for what it was, but I really want to see if we do end up getting an extended version on home video, because I want to see Christoph Gantz's full canvas.
And like I said earlier, if they would have done a movie based off Silent Hill like 20 years ago, they would have definitely casted Keith Sutherland as James.
And regarding Iron Lung, I mean, this is the movie that Markiplier made. This is an undeniable passion project, and it deserves every ounce of love it is getting at the box office right now.
I mean, like 43 million on a 3 million budget, and that's making more than most of the Hollywood films right now. That says a lot. Yeah,
when Sam Raimi's latest movie still hasn't broken even. It's insane.
Like how much is that one made?
So far, it had Send Help had a $40 million budget, and I think so far it's only made back like $57 million. Now that's $40 million for production budget, just to shoot the movie. And Hollywood generally will spend as much money on marketing as they do on making the movie. So you add 40 million onto that production budget, so now you're at $80 million. So now,
I mean, to be fair, they did cast Dylan O'Brien, so they kind of shot themselves in the foot with that one.
So I doubt Dylan O'Brien's that expensive of an actor, because Maze Runner isn't that hot of a property now. But
it also stars the frickin' Allstate guy, Dennis Haysbert. You know, the Are You in Good Hands?
Oh, nice. I didn't know he was in that. I didn't know he was in the new one. In
Probably literally the only appealing thing of that film, but I'm not going to watch it. Because it's like you said, you know, it went from being 20th Century Fox to 20th Century Studios, but we're still going to call it 20th Century Fox because screw you, Disney.
Yeah, I refuse to call Twitter X. Fuck Elon with that rebrand bullshit.
There's been a lot of rebrands everywhere.
Yeah, and they're all such a gargantuan eyesore that they would make Helen Keller cringe.
Didn't Cracker Barrel face backlash for a quote-unquote rebrand?
Yeah, because they were trying to they were trying to take the cracker out of the logo and make it look more like the icon of a phone app, and everybody farted at it. And then they were trying to redesign the interior of all their restaurants to make them look less inviting, less like Southern Comfort, which is what you want out of a Cracker Barrel. So, and they were going to try to make it look more sleek and more corporate, and it's like, no! All the fast food joints look like banks now, and it's fucking irritating. You wonder why nobody wants to come in and sit down and eat there anymore. It's because they're not inviting to sit down and eat in. It's like Texas Roadhouse hasn't updated their interior in I don't know how many fucking years. Every time I go there, doesn't matter what day of the week it is, they're fucking packed. Maybe stop fixing what ain't fucking broken. But anyways.
I literally said the same thing about the recent Facebook mobile app update, and it's like, why do you keep changing shit around on us? But then again, I've been done with Facebook for years, so...
Yeah, I almost never
I try to use it, but then something on it just pisses me off, and it's like... Not to mention, there's several people I know from back home who are registered offenders who are not allowed to use Facebook, and yet they somehow bypass the system, but Facebook does jack shit. It's stupid. It's fucking stupid.
But in any event, that is going to do it for tonight's stream. We've pretty much exercised every talking point we can bring up without diving into spoiler territory for either film that we've talked about tonight.
Yeah, as usual, it was fun.
Yeah, I'm not sure what our next movie discussion topic is going to be. I know our next bottom of the bin is going to be on Aquarium of the Dead.
Oh yeah, that's 2 weeks from today.
Yeah.
You know what else is 2 weeks from today? Resident Evil Requiem.
Yeah, there you go. I'll
probably season 2 of Monarch.
I'll probably be watching John Wolfe's playthrough of that because I know he's going to play it.
I don't know if I'm going to do a blind playthrough or if I'm going to do do what I usually do, play through it first and then do a playthrough after the fact.
Hey,
but I don't know if I'm going to do it right away or if I'm going to wait till I eventually get around to Village.
I mean, either way.
Because, as you know, I literally just started the Dead Space remake, and yeah, I know I don't care about how many views I get, but lately I've been getting more views in the first hour than Ben. Like, 5 views, I'll take it. 5 whole people took time out of their day to watch my video. I'll take it. And that number is probably going to skyrocket tomorrow a little bit.
Yeah, but so we
In
have
any
two,
event.
in any event we have 2 reaction streams we're going to do next week. One of them is me solo doing it on my own, and
The new usual.
and the other one will be me and Kaysen combining forces for a
Yeah, wait till you see the thumbnail for the next one.
for a supernova of Tism.
Yeah, we Chris just predicted the title of the Godzilla XCOM Supernova stream.
hey, that works. And
Let's do it.
and then
Space Godzilla.
so he's got his Dead Space remake playthrough going. I have
Part 1 is out.
I have my playthrough that I'm currently working on. You guys will know. Kaysen has correctly guessed what it is in our Discord chats. You guys will not know what it is until I have finished recording the playthrough and have begun editing it. So that should be good to go within the next week.
Yeah.
So
Also, it's worth noting that in the Resident Evil, in the Dead Space remake playthrough, and some parts of it so far, I literally used the kinetic force to shoot off a limb, and then use kinetic force to throw the spike at enemies.
yeah, I mean that's a thing you can do. I choose not to do it myself, but when I played the OG Dead Space on my channel recently.
And you know how near the beginning you turn the corner and there's that monster that runs into the vent?
Yeah.
I actually managed to kill it in mine.
Oh, nice.
And it's like, you don't get to run away.
Uh,
Come back here and scare me. You're the monster. I'll send you that short after the stream cuts off. But yeah, I think we should cut it before I start rambling again.
that reminds me of a clip I've been wanting to use in my folder, and it's a clip from one of the Scooby-Doos. Hold on.
Come back and fight like a man, you vegetable!
Come back here. That was perfect.
Alright, so that's going to do it for tonight. Thank you to everybody who stopped on by, and we'll see you next week.